Welcome back to Getting a Grip on the Michigan Business Network. We are here every week, come rain or shine. So glad you're listening. We talk about business health, vision, traction, healthy, the EOS operating system. Today, we're talking to Bob Shenefelt, who's the visionary Coach Bob. He's known in the US world as, and Bob's mission in life is to work with visionaries like himself and to provide tools and forums for those visionaries to get together and just enhance what they do and to understand that there's a valuable role for the visionary, not only in the organization, but in society. As Steve Jobs said, the visionaries are going to change the world, right? So we need to define it. And you had a couple of quick stories right before we went to break that I think will help highlight this for our listeners.
Yeah, and I didn't understand the visionary role totally. And so one is I brought on a partner in my first business years ago, and he was almost fighting me for the visionary role. And it was interesting, and we were kind of stuck on some things. And then finally he walked in one day and he's like, I figured it out. And I said, what? He said, you are the reason we're all here. You are the energy and the soul and the vibe of this company. And I'm not. I'm a part of it and I'm attracted to it. And then he stepped into the integrator role, and it was rocket fuel. We went to the next level. And he was saying, you have to tell people to respect me. I'm like, if you help us finish stuff and organize it, and you're brilliant at that, dude. And sure enough, then people started going into his office more. And I was kind
Yeah.
of like, well, what about me? And the second story is I was going through a personal relationship crisis. Again, this is 25 years ago. And I went to my team and I said, I need to go away for a little bit. I need a little sabbatical. And I was nervous. And my team is like, we got you, dude. Go. You've been taking care of us for 8 years. It's time for us to take care of you. One of the greatest moments of my life. Went
So
away for about a
outstanding.
month and a half, tapped in here and there. And then I came back, got some things straightened out, and I was feeling good. And I said, all right, I'm back. And they said, well, we're glad you're back, but we don't want you doing what you were doing before. And I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do now? And they said, well, what you're great at in love. And that's when we tapped into the initial part of iMatter and figuring out my why, what, and how for me. And then I stepped into the visionary role and I had all this space. So it's not easy to let go of the vine,
Yeah.
but figure out a way to do it. And then I've realized that I have a hard time letting go of the vine if I don't know what life beyond the vine is, which is really who am I and why am I here on this planet? So I just wanted to share those were two big
Yeah,
aha.
that's so powerful, and it resonates with me, and I know it will with other visionaries out there. Now, the work that you do through iMatter and through the forum and through the summit, where you take visionaries, away on a retreat, this benefits more than just the visionary. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
I got to imagine that the integrators are pushing some of their visionaries to go to your summit.
No, it's yeah. So integrators and implementers are our best friends, and often we're their best friends because we visionaries. I mean, we are the cause of and solution of all of life's problems, and so we get in the way, and we almost don't know how to let go of the vine at times. And so we have a tool. If you go to iMatter.com, there's the 6 habits of a great effing visionary. A lot of visionaries like to use the F word, so hopefully I'm not offending. But it's basically 6 things that I found that if I and my team do these things, then it's going to be get me out of the way. I'm the bottleneck as the visionary often, and so with the for the implementers. As the visionary, or as the visionary starts to really let go of the vine and realizes who they are as a person and what they're great at and what they love, and the leadership team helps them to do that. The leadership team wants us to be happy. And I've said before, I mean, it's not happy wife, happy life. It's happy visionary, happy life. Because if I'm not happy, I'm going to get in the way. I'm going to micromanage. And so the forum and the summit and the coaching has allowed the visionary to help the implementer have greater sessions, help the team where then the visionary steps in. Because a lot of times, like, well, what do I do now? And so I'm
Yeah.
actually speaking at the next EOS conference, and it's something around so I'm letting go of the vine. Now what? And that's
Yeah.
where we talk about, yeah, I mean, it's not just sitting around and what do I do now, but it's out and talking in the industry and talking with your employees and seeing gaps. We're really good at seeing gaps. So, we do appeal to integrators and the implementers to say, and someone even a visionary even said, we're kind of it's how to train your visionary,
Yeah.
how to capture the power, harness the energy and the power of the visionary. I mean, I need to be told what to do, especially if it's something that I like doing.
Yeah, I think you're so spot on with that. And I can't help but, relate to either my own personal experience as a visionary or the visionaries that I coach as an implementer. When they're happy, the team is happy, the team is healthy, the team is functioning. And when they're not happy, and sometimes as visionaries, we can be very not happy.
We're
It's
drama.
a ripple effect. Oh my gosh, it sucks the oxygen out of the company.
Yeah.
And having a good leadership team is one that can say, look, we need you to get back to happy. And usually from personal experience, the reason that I wasn't happy as a visionary is when I grabbed onto that vine again and I was getting into areas that, frankly, I don't even like to do. I'm not good at.
Right.
Somebody else is way better, but I felt like I had to be in control. When I was willing to let go and say, I'm going to trust, I did. I started to see things more clearly. I could see the gaps in the business. I could see the areas we needed to go strategically. I could see the morale issues that were bubbling up that I needed to be on top of, the core value concerns, the stuff that my team counted on me to do that came naturally, that nobody else could do. Like
Right.
only the visionary can do that stuff.
Right.
So
and we talk about elevate your mind and expand your impact. So to your point, a lot of times, as we, are in the business, in the business and in the weeds, and we're doing urgent things, we lose that creative part of our brain and tapping into something greater than ourselves and our hearts and whatnot. And so when we do slow down, again, I'm imagining this great future. So my conscious and subconscious is excited. So I'm not worried about the future as much. I'm improving on the past and getting rid of regrets and learning and implementing these tools so they're a part of me so I can impact this moment right now.
yeah, absolutely.
And
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
we're magical at that. Not that we're better or worse, but when we're present and we're working on the business and working on our lives, it's magical and game changer.
Can't be better said than that. We're coming back after this. We're going to wrap up in our last segment. We're going to talk to Coach Bob about his favorite inspirational movie scene, song, or poem, or book, and much more. So don't go anywhere. You're listening to Getting Your Grip on the Michigan Business Network.